The Citroen C5 Aircross sits in a niche space, luxurious five-seater SUVs that aren't as expensive as entry-level offerings from Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz and Volvo, yet have more space inside. It's rather specific segment crowded by the likes of the Volkswagen Tiguan, Hyundai Tucson and the C5 Aircross. For 2022, Citroën has given the C5 Aircross a fresh face, a redesigned interior slash the entry-level variant, and hiked up price to Rs 36.67 lakh. Is it worth the money? Let's see. The most obvious change on the 2022 C5 Aircross is the cleaner front end design, single-piece headlamps integrated into the grille, a revised bumper also. Down the side, you can spot a fresh design for the alloys, and at the rear, the four squiggle elements of the taillights are replaced by three slabs with a 3D effect in them. Not too much has changed here, and that's not a bad thing. The C5 Aircross looks sharper than ever and is one of the only cars at this price point that can turn heads while being understated. Hop inside the new C5 Aircross and you will find quite a few more changes. The layout, for starters, is new with a floating 10-inch infotainment screen in the center, sitting above new horizontal vents for the air conditioning. Below that, the gear stick has made way for a toggle style selector. The drive mode switch is new, and if you take a closer look at the digital instrument cluster, you will spot it has new graphics. While there's nothing new at the rear, the three individual seats remain, and while that means the C5 is well suited for carrying three, it also means the two outer seats are slightly compromised. The knee room is tight for an SUV of this size. Headroom is adequate though. Citroën has said the seats get a little more padding and they do feel plush for sure, though they are a bit narrow and might not fit everyone. Where the C5 Aircross really falls short is in the tech department. Though fairly bright and colorful, the infotainment screen is a bit laggy, has a fuzzy menu layout, and runs CarPlay, Android Auto on a cropped central area. There are also no physical AC controls, and it is a two or three step process to change something as simple as fan speed. The digital instrument cluster has legible layouts and a clean design, but isn't nearly as customizable as the virtual cockpit on the Tiguan. While we are on the topic, there is no wireless CarPlay or Android Auto. The USB ports are well Type A. There aren't any ventilated seats. The lumbar support is manual and there is no climate control or fan speed control for the second row. That said, the C5 does get a blind spot monitor, hill descent control, a wireless charger, and a panoramic sunroof. But the most important feature of the C5 Aircross is how it drives. In terms of driving, the C5 Aircross is unchanged. It rides supremely well over all kinds of surfaces, soaking up imperfections and even the notorious pebble streets very well. The steering is light, very light, light enough that you can do 3-point turns with just a finger, and I'm not saying that as a negative. The C5 Aircross is geared for relaxed driving, and when you are taking things easy, why wrestle with a hefty steering? Under the hood, the 2-liter diesel continues to do duty in the C5, putting out 174 HP and 400 Nm of torque to the front wheels via an 8-speed automatic gearbox. There is no all-wheel drive system and no petrol engine. The diesel engine has lots of grunt though, and while it is quite loud on the outside, only a hushed noise creeps inside. The 8-speed automatic shifts gears quickly, kicks down when necessary, and the different drive modes help you tailor it to your driving scenario. The C5 Aircross is best driven at 6 tenths with lots of torque from the diesel motor, propelling you forward and the ride quality helping you keep up speed even when a rough patch comes up. The Citroen C5 Aircross looks a bit nicer than before, gets a few tech updates inside and is still the benchmark in its segment when it comes to ride comfort. At rupees 36.67 lakh though, it is rupees 3.88 lakh more expensive than the Tiguan and rupees 2.13 lakh dearer than the top spec Hyundai Tucson. Both those SUVs have a much bigger feature list, comparable quality levels, better second row space, and at least the option of all-wheel drive. The C5 Aircross then isn't the practical choice. However, it is very stylish, extremely comfortable, and if you like standing out from the crowd, the C5 Aircross is ideal.